It's a great pleasure to have Krisztina here, one of the most active community energy, and I would also say women power in community energy supporters in Germany, originally not from Germany, but I think you can introduce yourself as well, and you will moderate our session, which is about acceptance, legislative restrictions, and female action, ? Now, with this, time for me to be quiet and Krisztina.
Okay, thank you, Stefan, for the introduction. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As Stefan already said, my name is Krisztina, and I'm happy to guide you in the next 1 hour through the first session today. How does the well-known research acceptance connect to legislative restrictions and female action? A little bit of my background and the organization where I'm connected to. I'm a board member of the German Citizen Energy Alliance, Bündnis Bürgerenergie, and as a candidate to the European Parliament in the last year's elections and a co-author of the European Green New Deal, I look at the energy transition from a grassroots level, and also from a very strong gender perspective. Our Citizen Energy Alliance represents more than 500,000 energy active citizens in Germany. All our members are engaged as individuals, energy cooperatives, or citizen energy communities, aiming to push and strengthen a bottom-up 100% renewable energy transition by 2030 latest. We advocate a renewable and decentralized energy system, bundle common interests, and advocate on national and EU level. We also pool and network citizen energy enterprise expertise. But please let me now introduce our 3 remarkable guests. Memi Motosu from Nagoya University of Economics in Japan, working in social acceptance research and social survey. And I was happy to see that Memi, you were also in Friends of the Earth in Berlin office, as far as I know, some time ago. So I'm happy to see that. The second guest of ours is Irmak Karakislak. She's an early stage researcher working in the Mistra project. It's a multi-sectoral approaches to innovative skills training for renewable energy and social acceptance abbreviation at the Institute for Future Energy and Material Flow Systems, IZES, and a PhD student in sociology at Saarland University in Germany. She is mainly focused on wind energy, like justice perceptions of wind energy projects, but she will tell more about herself. And our last guest, but not least, is Dr. Doerte Fouquet, a partner at one of the leading law firms for the energy and infrastructure industry, Becker Büttner Held, and is head of the Brussels office in Belgium. She specialized in EU law and international legal relations with a focus on competitions, infrastructure, energy and environment. She's a legal advisor to companies, finance institutions, associations, and governmental agencies in Germany and other EU member states and EU institutions on international level. And she's also a member of Eurosolar, where I am also a member of, and I'm happy to see that. But exactly what to expect in the next 1 hour. In the first part, we will see 3 presentations, and in the second part, there will be a discussion round, and there will be a possibility for Q&A in that section. But before we continue, because acceptance, it's also a very psychological and personal perspective. I would, before any of our 3 guests starts its presentation or introduction, I would first like to ask a personal question, 3 of you. If you look back in time, how did it happen you started dealing with renewable energy? Was it a coincidence, or it was rather like a mission from the beginning on, or something rather in between? And if it was a mission, I would be very interested in your internal motivation. So please, I give the stage. Maybe we start in the same. Maybe we start with Memi Motosu and then Irmak Karakislak and then Dr. Doerte Fouquet.
Hello, everyone. My name is Memi Motosu. I'm very happy to be here. Your question was, I was just wondering, I was in Germany at that time, so it's about 15 years ago, I was in Berlin. And I was wondering why there are so many wind turbines in Germany, but not in Japan. And that is my, what I wanted to know at that time. And then I get started to research what the difference. That's the point.
So it means that the Energiewende, that's the German energy transition, actually took you forever?
So many people say the difference is economical aspect. But I thought it's not only the economical aspect or engineering aspect. And I thought it might be kind of psychological thing or social aspect. So that's why I started this research.
That's interesting. I will tell to Friends of the Earth colleagues when I meet them, so they know what their impact is. Thank you very much. Irmak Karakislak, if I pronounce your name well.
Hello, it's quite well, actually, especially my last name, which is quite hard. Yeah, thank you for your question. And I would also like to point out that I am sharing my session with my colleague, Sophia Küpers. So she's also here. And I'd just like to mention that we're going to share the session and present our part together. To answer your question, I'm very, very early in the whole energy research arena. And I'm originally from Istanbul, Turkey. And what I've observed in my undergrad and my master's studies in the whole energy sector in Turkey, unfortunately, the social issues, social sides are not very much researched, or the social acceptance concept, even though in practical terms it's a big issue. There has been so many lawsuits, so many social movements against a lot of infrastructure. Unfortunately, in the research arena, it's still a lack of, there's a lack of focus in that. That's one of the main reasons that I was interested. It was looking, why does not Turkey look into this more? So that's why I'm also including, even though I'm based in Germany, I'm also including Turkey into my research. Yeah.
So you are bridging.
Yeah, exactly, hopefully.
Very important. I find it's Istanbul also has many bridges connecting two important regions, and actually you are then a bridge for the wind energy and acceptance. Okay. Thank you very much. Very, very interesting. If I may ask Doerte Fouquet to join.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much also for your really lovely and careful, if I may say, introduction into our platform for this small hour. Very well appreciated. So I'm probably the elder here. And my reason to go the way of energy system change was in 1986. I was at that time a young civil servant in the land and city of Hamburg. And Chernobyl happened just when I entered the public service. And I was first in the administration of energy and environment in the city of Hamburg, and working in interesting positions, fortunately for a woman at that time. And in a way, this was my leitmotif over decades of work to say we can no longer afford to have only the legal and the societal ground for centralized power production from very unhealthy and unsecure sources. So that's why my whole pathway was focused on giving advice on energy system change, and especially then obviously renewable energy were always up front, and also I hope also in parallel to my work as a lawyer, and I come to my work for EREF, for the European Renewables, also in educating young colleagues, men and women, on that pathway. Thank you.
Oh, that's very exciting. And did you know at those times, because for instance, photovoltaics wasn't yet, so I'm so sorry, I have...
Maybe I can, you probably want to say what was my expectation on renewables at that time. Well, that's a very good question, because you may know we had at that time the first step into wind energy technology in Germany, and it was dressed to kill in a way. They over-dimensioned at that time the first turbine, which I think was erected and fell down with the next storm quite drastically, and had swallowed up millions of research funds. So in the 80s, in the end of the 80s, it was more efficiency, it was more better technologies for combined heat and power on gas and on coal and so forth. But then I would say in the early 90s, photovoltaics, the first, then came the white paper for energy, for renewable energy from the European Commission, from Wolfgang Pals. And so there was a dynamic which was kicked off, let's say, in the late 80s. Absolutely.
I see. So you are actually, if I can put it that way, actually you are happy about the opportunities, technical opportunities for renewable energy development, because it's going decentralized. It's no way to turn that back. So is it what was your wishful thinking at that time?
Yeah, it was. Even though very early also I would have accepted, or accept that I created once this nonsense sense, maybe big and small, we need them all. So for 100% solution, you will also have big offshore, etc. Only what I'm always fearing is whenever something bigger is discussed, and that's a male problem in our society, everybody in policy rushes towards that. Like we have now, we do now hydrogen, big hydrogen strategy, and not questioning what's the basis of that strategy. What's the input? Is the input nuclear? Hello? And but there is this testosterone-minded view that, oh, wow, big is beautiful. So I'm not in favor of that. I just say democracy and energy transformation is a purely democratic process, and should be as democratic and decentralized as possible. And you add on what you need in order to feed the mass needs. That's for sure. I'm not. We cannot do all with citizens projects, but without citizen project, you cannot change the energy system.
I see. It's really as you described. I'm happy that you described it so precise. This difference between men's and women's approach. I don't want to discriminate anyone, but I see that we women often have a kind of more difficult path to succeed and to work towards our goals, or to arrange some kind of harmony and where things work together. And this is the mindset what you just described now. Actually, let's start with even small things, like, starting from to offshore, and we use everything where it makes sense and is decent and functioning. So thank you very much.
Welcome.
Okay, I give back the stage then to our first speaker, because we lost a little bit of time, but it was very important for me to have this insight into your private lives and private motivations, because this is always the strongest driving force. and it stays forever. That's nothing what comes and goes, but it's just there, and all of us, we can build upon and build on this good base.